Hey there, collective. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Soulversations right here on the flow on YouTube. My name is Asmari, and as per usual, this is a space where we sow together, we grow together, and we move together on purpose for the sole reason of becoming the best version of ourselves. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, Karibu Sana. If you are family, you know the vibes. Welcome back, King. Welcome back, Queen. This particular Soulversation is going to be a Soulversation targeted to the inner child within all of us. Just trying to get some messages from what our inner child within us all would like us to know at this now moment in time. Going just into a few of the, particular, normal, familiar announcements. For all of you who are interested in any of our soul farming tools, all of that information is in the description box down below. It's really interesting as I was tapping into your energy, the inner child of the collective was like, let's get back to, that carefreeness that we had when we were children. Let's get back to that space where we really didn't care what people thought of us and we did what made us happy. And so that's the energy that I'm going into with this particular reading, and it's just a really beautiful validation as well for anybody who has felt led to click onto this particular video. Your inner child wants you to know that it is time for you to stop caring what other people think about you. It is time for you to just embrace who you are as a child. You know, that happy-go-lucky nature when you first meet a child. I mean, like, who meets a child and just isn't like happy? Who meets a child and their mood isn't instantly elevated? I feel like as we grew up and as society taught us about the ups and downs of life, they made us feel like and seem like that adulthood had to be boring and depressing, but it really doesn't have to be. In fact, most of the people that I love to talk to, older people especially, who are like 70 years and above, and most of them who are crushing it at life, number one, and who look younger than our own mothers and fathers. Sorry, no offense to anybody, but they told me that their secret was that they kept their inner child alive. Like, they find time for play, they find time to be goofy, to make funny voices, and they just make time to follow the bliss and the joy in their individual lives. So that's a message for somebody or everybody out there who is watching. So to start off this beautiful, beautiful energy of the inner child, we have the world and the Five of Wands. So this is the end of you having that inner conflict within. Now, it's so interesting because this card comes up so differently in so many ways depending on the reading or the energy that I'm reading it from. But in this particular energy, I feel like this is the end of the fighting of the different aspects of you. You have come to this point in time where you're like, I know that I have these types of character traits, and I know I can be like this and like that and like this. And so you've come to the end of fighting yourself. You've come to the end of really just battling against who you are and really embracing and truly loving who you are and letting that shine. It's so beautiful because the inner child energy did come out in the shadow reading that I did earlier. So if you feel inclined, there may be some messages for you there, because that song, This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It came out in that previous video. So messages again, I feel like with that song as well, there's a version that was done by Beautiful Chorus where they were saying, this little light of mine used to be too scared to shine. This little light of mine used to be too scared to shine. So I feel like when you were younger, you may have dealt with like a lot of bullying, or you may have dealt with a lot of self-esteem issues where people made you feel less than you are, when truly you are a superstar. You are who you say you are, a superstar. So have no fear, the camera's here. So you might love Lupe Fiasco as well, but that's the type of the energy that I'm having with this energy. And I'm just feeling so giddy, like when a kid knows that they're about to get a Christmas present. That's the energy I'm feeling. I'm feeling the energy of just letting go. I wanted to say the energy of releasing, but I've had some meditative space with that word release, and I'm going to now stop using it, because the word lease, and then means to like repeat, so it's like repeating a cycle again. So that word is totally out of my vocabulary, out of my vocabulary, and I am choosing to use the word letting go to end cycles. Oh wow, I love this energy already, and we haven't even gotten into the particulars on the board. This is amazing, collective. Here we are. We have the Death card and the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like there's been some major transformation. It took a while for you to get here. It took a while for you to fully embrace yourself and to see yourself as the Queen of Pentacles that you are. You may have, Taurus prominent in your chart. It might be your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign. You might have it as well in your 5th house or your 7th house, but it doesn't have to be. The energy that I'm getting here is that just regardless of whatever sign you are, there's also Scorpio here with the Death card. There's just major rebirth and transformation, and that's just the key over here. The key. I feel like the word rebirth fits more, because you are being born again into who you truly are, and starting a new cycle with the knowingness that you are worthy of all of the good things that life has to offer. I feel like a lot of you have been repressing a lot of childhood pain, a lot of the healing that you needed to do. But the fact that you're here on this reading, either you are well on your way, or you have gone through majority of the journey, and whatever is left inside, those tears are tears of joy and tears of relief, because I'm hearing the storm is over. The storm is over. You have been able to move away from all of the relationships and people in your life who just were bent on making your life a miserable existence. You're moving away from all of the situations where people went out of their way to make your life miserable when they didn't have to. Now, it's really interesting that these cards came out, because I talked about this on my podcast, the most recent episode of my podcast called Real Recognizes Real. And on that particular podcast, I spoke about how you'll be able to know, who God's people are and who God's people aren't. I took it from, the verse, I think it's John chapter 1, verse 4, but I will clarify. And in that particular verse, it was talking about you'll be able to know the difference between a God man and somebody who is the Antichrist by the fact that a God man will only act out of a space of love, and an Antichrist person will do things on purpose to hurt you. People who are the Antichrist will not be moral people. They will have no morals. People who are considered the Antichrist, will be people who just go out of their way to make sure that people have a miserable existence. So whether that's using their power, whether they're, they have political power and they want to make your life miserable, or whether they have money and they want to make your life miserable, whatever it is, anyone who sees you as a threat and decides to make your life miserable, in any way, shape or form, whether that's through gossiping about you, spreading lies about you, that's the Antichrist type of energy. And you'll be able to know men of God by those people who who, despite whatever hardships they go through, they still move with love and kindness, and they speak no evil. They continue to wish well on their enemies, and the people who want to see their downfall for no reason. You see. But the thing is that I've learned that a lot of these things do have a reason. It's not without a reason. They do these things because they are not healed within. Hurt people hurt people. Healed people help people to heal, right? And so that's what your inner child is showing you, that you should just go and pay attention to the people who see the light in you, who see that sun in you, who see that light that you are too scared to shine, and who encourage you to shine that light. And the more you interact with such people, then the more that you can come back and call back to yourself all of the broken fragments of your inner child. And it's really sad because I'm getting this message that for a lot of you, these wounds have been quite deep because, for most of you who are watching this, you've had to deal with family members who, from the get-go, since you were a child, they knew the gifts that you had, and they went out of their way to make you feel like you were not deserving, and to make you feel like God didn't bless you with all of the gifts that, God gave you. And that's a complete lie. And I feel like the fact that you have clicked onto this video is that God is sending you the message that you are worthy. Not only are you worthy, but He has set a table in front of thine enemies, And that's not only like external enemies, but also, the voices within you telling you that you're not worth it. But those voices within you telling you you're not worth it and that you can't do it, are from those people from your childhood who told you that you're not worthy, you can't do this. But that's because they feel that way about themselves. It's so funny because I actually wrote a song about that on my album called Sleeping Beauty, and it's called Liwe Liwalo. And it goes, I think the particular lyric that stands out that goes with that is that your perception of me is a reflection of you. My awareness of me landed me in this booth, you see? And so it's so interesting because I personally had been running away from my family and running away from all of these people my whole life because they went out of their way to put their demons onto me. And I thought that by running it would save me, but really my power is in standing still and standing in the power that God gave me. Because God gave me this even before I was born. God gave you your powers, God gave you your talents even before you were born. So there's no weapon that can be formed against you that can prosper. Continue to do whatever you need to do, even if it's alone. Trust me, being alone is the best thing that you can ever do for yourself. Because such people like to run in packs. I'm not saying that it's not good to have a friend circle. It's beautiful, Like I've learned the value of having a friend circle that emanates quality versus quantity. And so this particular card also shows that type of energy where you see this man is being like kicked off because he's holding on to her dress like for dear life. But this man is not giving her anything. He's just there to leech on her energy. You see, and so I feel like that's what a lot of you are doing and are being encouraged to do by your inner child, to just keep shaking off. I'm hearing that song by Mariah Carey. Shake, shake, shake it off. Gotta do what's best for me, baby, and that means I gotta shake you off. Shake, 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 shake you off. So it's so... I don't know, I'm feeling so much joy and so much love, and I feel like it's God just showing that the universe never lets you down. Justice will always prevail. It cannot always be night. The dawn will eventually come and there will be justice, and the people who went out of their way to make sure that you didn't have that justice, trust me, they're carrying their own burdens. Trust me. Trust me, they might not show it and they might look like they're enjoying life and everything is fun and they're laughing at you, but let them continue laughing, let them continue showing you that they have everything in the world, because there's nothing material that you're going to go with to heaven. All of that money and all of those friends and all that jewelry that you're here showing in front of people, it doesn't do anything for you, because at the end of the day, when you die, you have your soul, and that's what God is going to look at. And I feel like that's what you're choosing to do, to look at the abundance that is within you. For a lot of you, I feel like a lot of things have been taken from you. Trust me, tuko pamoja. People thought that they can take away your house, take away, your jobs, ruin your reputation, tell people lies about you. But let me tell you, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So now we see the light. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't forget the fight. That's the energy that I'm feeling with this for you guys, and all of this amazing, beautiful energy. People are seeing that. You may be Italian, or you might like Italian food or something. There's something to do with Italian somehow. But anyway, here you are, healing your depression, healing everything and everybody that went out of their way to make you feel like you are trash. Learning and embracing the fact that God is ever faithful. Learning and embracing the fact that when you do right and never give up and keep being a light in the darkness, that light will catch on. Because even in the darkest night, if you switch on a candle, the candle will light up the room. The candle may be tiny, but the candle provides light to the room. So I feel like that's a message to you as well, that like whatever you're choosing to do, you might feel like nobody sees you. You might feel like your work is going unnoticed. You might feel like everything is for nothing, but there's nothing that's not for anything, you see. And so, just to even give you some encouragement, there are lots of people who ended up, passing away, and they never saw the fruits of their labor, but they are some of the most remembered people in history, So at the end of the day, I feel like whatever you're doing, I'm not saying that you're going to pass away and you won't be celebrated. It's just an example to show you that no matter how long your struggle has been, whether it's been 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, and you feel like nobody has seen the work that you're doing, and you feel like you're not getting to that point, it's because those people were trying to stop you. And the thing is that people can only try and stop you for so long, because when you get your strength from God, nobody can shake you. Nobody. And that's the truth of the matter. And these people are watching you, and they're aware of that. They know that God has given you something. Can you see with this picture in the wand? There's a hand coming out of the clouds, and somebody is holding a wand. For me, that's the universe, God, source, the Holy Spirit giving you something that nobody else can take away from you. When God gives you talents inside of you, whether they kill you, they harvest your organs, they do whatever crazy bullshit that people do nowadays, witchcraft, juju, whatever, let them do it. There's nothing. It's funny, there's this movie I was watching about Albert Einstein, and at the end they were trying to, like, when Albert passed away, they tried to like remove his brain, and they wanted to put it in someone. You can't do that. Like, fine, you can physically put somebody else's brain in somebody else's head, but then it's not gonna work the same way, because God is the living force that works through us. So it's not about a body part. A body part is nothing. Once God's essence is out of us through death, there's nothing that can be transmuted, unless somebody finds out how to transfer a soul into another soul. Then there's no way that can happen at all. And even when they do find out how to do that, there's no force that is more powerful than the creator of the universe, the creator of the multiverse. I dare anybody to stand up to me right now and tell me that there's a force that's mightier than our God. There's none. There's none. No matter what God you worship, whether you call him Allah, or you call him Buddha, or you call him Krishna, the creator of the universe cannot be defeated and can never be defeated, ever. Everything is in divine order and everything happens for a reason. Here we are, with the Justice card and the Queen of Wands. This is your inner child telling you, listen, there's a reason why Jesus mentioned that the kingdom of heaven belongs to the children, because the children are aware of the true nature of their beingness, rooted in their creator. And that's why they're so carefree, and that's why they're so forgiving, and that's why, you'll meet a kid like who maybe fought with a kid on a playground and over a swing, and then the next moment you see they're sharing their lunch together. Kids don't see color, they don't see black and white, kids don't see rich and poor. It's us adults who put those toxic things into the children. And so with this inner child reading, this is showing the justice of the kingdom of God, the kingdom of, the creator, whoever you call the creator, coming into a state of victory. People are saying these are the end times. Here is the judgment card. If you ask me, I don't believe that it's the end times of like the obliteration of the earth, although it could end up being like that because we have disrespected the earth so much, you see. But I feel like with this energy coming out with the Justice card and the Chariot card, the Judgment card, Justice again, so there may be a lot of justice coming through for you guys. But here we are with the Judgment card and the Chariot card. So for Judgment, because it came after Justice, I feel like with a lot of you, maybe you may have been struggling with like a legal case where it's going in your favor. It's definitely going in your favor, because when Judgment comes directly after Justice, that's telling me that the judgment is in your favor. Whoever the judge is or whoever is involved in this situation, people can see that justice is due for you. You deserve the justice, you see. But also with this, the Judgment and the Chariot card, I feel like that same energy that I was talking about, there is no power that is more powerful than the God that created this earth, this planetary solar system, the multiverse. I believe there are other universes out there as well, but that's a conversation for another day. But what this is telling me is that your inner child just wants you to continue being yourself, to continue being that innocent, joyful soul that you are, to continue bringing soul and to continue bringing love wherever you go, wherever you are, and also just being you. That's all I have to say. So thank you so much for tuning in to this Inner Child Soulversation. Once again, if you're interested in any of our soul farming tools, all of that information is in the description box down below. And I'll see you on the next video. Namaste.